teams up to 12 still been involved, and there are 9 teams still involved in a kind of relegation fight. So kind of strange.
Well, that would have been red, without a doubt.
I think it was last week, Gary. I think
in this clip, obviously you can see there's a queue to turn right. So you go to the right of the lane. Anyone wants to turn left, if they can fit down there, they go to the left. It's simple, isn't it? For most cars. Or most people, I should say. Unless you're an Audi, I mean a Kia. Just nice little bit of queue jumping. Couldn't do what we're all doing by waiting. It's too special for that. But when we go behind him, we get to see that he's a professional driver.
From learning essential maths to skills boot camps in digital and qualifications to help you get where you want to be. Unlock your potential. Unlock your
Phone down, mate.
.uk/skills today. I'm here to be that installation course today on the M60 in Greater Manchester.
Now, I don't know why this sort of thing bothers me so much, because I can easily get past it. It's just that it winds me up that these people cannot get into their own lane. Why does it need a bit of my lane to turn right? I don't understand why these people can't do it. Why can't you just get into your lane? I know, it's me being picky, but am I alone in that? I look forward to seeing the one-word replies in the message section just saying yes. Now this scenario comes up quite a bit on the channel. I'm normally in the left-hand lane on that scenario though. It's one of these straight on and turn right arrows. Now someone's turning right up there. I haven't seen it because of the van in front of me. So I have to squeeze round. There is just enough room for me to get round without cutting across anyone or making it dangerous for them. But this car here, doing exactly the same thing as what I am, but it doesn't want to let anyone out that's in my lane. So he undertakes the Mondeo, undertakes me, and now he's looking to come out. There's no chance of that happening, mate. If you want to drive aggressively and act like a prat, expect that to come back at you. And it's exactly what the Mondeo does behind me. He sees what's happened and he closes the gap here. He ain't letting him out. So the prat stays where he is, or where he was at the beginning of the clip, which is behind the Mondeo. Now if we go to the front camera in a second, there we go, you'll see the Mondeo undertake me. I do want this lane, I'm not lane hogging by the way, because we're coming up to a roundabout. And then there's the prat. The prat is in the correct lane because he's turning left at this roundabout. The Mondeo is in the right lane, isn't in the right lane, is in the right lane, isn't in the right lane. You'll see what I mean. This is Rose Hill roundabout, by the way, where getting in the wrong lane is compulsory on this roundabout. So there he goes. He cuts across when he don't really have to. Even though the road marking says you're turning left, if you look at the lines, you can actually go round on that. Everything is wrong on this roundabout. And another thing that gets on my tits is this. 3-point turns wherever you feel you just want to do it. This car has obviously missed the car park to the hospital and just decides to do a 3-point turn. Wherever. Now I know there's been people in the comment section saying they're not called 3-point turns anymore, they're called turns in the road. Yes, that is correct. If you can't do it in 3 points, then there's something very wrong with you. That's why we still call it a 3-point turn.
Really? It's tight, but it's not that tight.
And another thing that gets on my tits, I'm going to have to grow some more tits, I think, the amount of things that are growing on them, is this. Look at the amount of spaces that are everywhere.
What are you doing?
This car is actually waiting for someone to pull out so it can pull in.
You're seriously waiting for a space? You're seriously waiting for a space where there's a fucking 100 empty spaces? How sad are you? There's spaces everywhere. But you are waiting for someone to get out of a space. What a fucking numpty that is.
Now, just in case you wasn't paying attention, let's watch it from behind now, from the rear camera. First, you got that one there parked, needs 2 spaces. But look how many empty spaces there are in this car park. Just down this little section. There's loads more over to the right.
Now, what are you doing?
Now, as I'm driving down this road, I want to show you some shoddy workmanship. And I have a question for you people. Just by this garage here, this petrol station, there's been some roadworks recently, and they've literally left a great big bloody hole still. They've been there for ages and they've left a hole. But the question I wanted to ask, obviously there was zigzags there. But because the workmen have dug up the ground, there's no zigzags, there's no yellow lines. If that car wasn't on the pavement, could it park there legally or illegally? I don't know why it's parked there anyway, because there's a petrol station for it to get into the park. I have a few comments every now and then about me lane hogging. And this is like from me going from car to car, overtaking people and not moving over before I've got to the next one. Sometimes as little as 20 seconds. In this clip, we're looking at that blue car over there, and I will show you what real lane hogging is all about. I'm on the M23 heading towards Gatwick at the moment. It's that smart motorway again. Yeah, right. And because of that little blue car, 2 lanes now are driving quite slow. So it's too slow for me, so I want to overtake it. But to do that, I've got to go out into lane 3 because of him lane hogging. So as I normally do in these situations, I like to give him a little message. There he is, the idiot. What I do is I go right across him, straight back into the inside lane, just to show him where he should be. I wasn't that close to him. Now, as you can see, the Audi next to him isn't making life easy for him to actually move over, but he's got no intentions of moving over, and it's not down to the Audi to get out of his way. It's down to him to overtake the Audi and then pull over. But it's got no intentions of actually doing it. It stays there for the whole duration of this clip. Now obviously lane hogging is pretty boring, so I'm going to speed this up. Now not only does he not know the highway code about lane hogging, he obviously doesn't know how to read road signs neither, because he wants the Gatwick turn off the same as me, but he doesn't seem to understand that his lane goes off to Gatwick as well. And as we start to get to the slip road in a second, that's the only time he actually moves over, and it's because he can't read road signs, not because he's moving over because he's lane hogging. Now he's not lane hogging officially because he's in the inside lane and I'm on the slip road. But you'll see him in a second where he actually moves over because he's thick as shit. So there he goes, he's moved over to the slip road. It's the only time he moves over. And as soon as he realises that he doesn't have to be in that lane, he moves back out. So we'll speed it up a little bit now. And you'll get to see the lane he was in. There's a slip road there too. And as soon as these solid lines finish, he has to move back out into that lane. Now I don't know how long he was in that lane before I saw him. It was about 5 minutes after I saw him that he was still in that lane. That's lane hogging. And he overtook one car in that whole time.